All
Okay,
right.
go
Here's a
ahead.
letter from Jan. So, hi. Some of you asked if I would talk about people who leave AA after probation and go back out. That is just about a given. In fact, I have seen zero people stay sober after probation. When people come here for meeting confirmation, it taints everything in their recovery and they eventually go back out. Why? I don't know. Usually, once off paper, they are out of here. They often will blame AA, the police, me, the courts, or they are just so glad not to be in irons. They usually miss the entire AA program altogether. It's amazing. They will have a million excuses why AA or I am fucked up. And then they try some other meetings, then less and less, then stop going altogether. Then the drinking starts. And then I get a phone call from a family member telling me that so and so has passed away from drinking and her or his body was found in their house or car or a motel room or hospital. Thought you'd like to know, Mr. Scott. It happened again this week. And that's just how it goes. So, to answer your question, on the other hand, the answer is simple: go to meetings, don't drink, work the steps, and keep coming back. I don't know if there was a portion missing, but
So would you read it again one more time? And everybody listen to this. This is going to be our topic today. Thank you, Jesse. Go ahead.
yeah. Some of you asked if I would talk about people who leave AA after probation and go back out. That is just about a given. In fact, I have seen zero people stay sober after probation. When people come here for meeting confirmation, it taints everything in their recovery and they eventually go back out. Why? I don't know. Usually, once off paper, they're out of here and they will often blame AA, the police, me, or the courts, or they are just so glad not to be in irons. They usually miss the entire AA program altogether. It's amazing. They will have a million excuses why AA or I am fucked up, and then they try some other meetings, then less and less, then stop going altogether, and then the drinking starts. And then I'll get a phone call from a family member telling me that so and so has passed away from drinking, and her or his body was found in their house or car or a motel room hospital. I thought you'd like to know, Mr. Scott. It happened again this week. And that's just how it goes. So, to answer your question, on the other hand, the answer is simple: go to meetings, don't drink, work the steps, and keep coming back.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Jess,
Mhm.
I asked you to read it, so you have a good microphone and you have a good reading voice. So appreciate that. And I know you're on slightly on probation, um, but this does not apply to you. Are you gonna let him in there, Preston, or are you just gonna let those people sit in the waiting room? You and Matt. I'll have to turn the bell on, boys. The bell here, I'll admit it. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to go through this right now. Some of you have asked if I would talk about, this is me, uh, people that leave AA after probation and go back out. Um, so here's the thing with that. We had a lot of people in here on probation from the courts, and we, we'll send you emails and confirmation letters and whatever else you need just about the time that person is off paper, off probation. They always say when they come here, this meeting is so great. I'm really glad I'm coming here. It's so helpful to me. And then they'll do the reading of this assignments and writing assignments, sort of. We recently had like 5 people who left the meeting, 2 of whom were just gotten off probation. And as I looked at them, one of them was pretty hostile most of the time. He was sick, in jail, dual um, DUIs, courts, probation, and just was like um, not always happy. Uh, she'd be happy if he could chair the meeting, and he did a bunch of service work. There was this thing underneath him that was this incredible hostility that we usually resolve in the AA program. We usually have a good 4th step and 5th step, and we start to become of service almost happily. And Jeff, I'm just going to unmute you. Also, you can listen, but
Yes.
you
Yes.
can comment too. So then he was one guy. And then there was another person who was same deal, had been in and out of AA for a decade and finally caught a DUI, pulled over by the cops, ended up in some kind of situation where she had 2 broken ribs, kind of beaten up. She doesn't remember how she did it, and ends up in jail and ends up with like $25,000 in legal charges and fines, and comes here and is pretty, coming regularly, has to get, a day, a court order to AA meetings for, I think 60 or 90 days, and plus court order to therapy, court order to everything. And she was very helpful and fun and nice. Had been in and out of the same rehab 2 or 3 times, but deep down inside was coming here begrudgingly. And as the end of her probation got closer, over the period of a year, she started to find, and here it is, more and more things wrong with this meeting and with AA. Until the culmination when she was off probation and bam, out the door, gone. And with the parting words, I don't like this and I don't like that. And not only that, Jeff, I don't like this and I don't like that and I don't like you. And I don't like what goes on here. And and I don't like that either. And you know what else I don't like? I don't like this or that. Gone. And then there's another guy, same thing. I'm going to go someplace else. Yeah, where are you going? Where do they go? They maybe go to another meeting for once or twice, and then they go someplace else, and then they have their friends, and then they go to a bar, and they pick up a drink.
Yeah. Jeff Alcoholic, I have seen them gleefully get together. I don't like this meeting and stuff like this. And he gets it with someone else. Maybe they don't do it right at the meeting. And the other, I don't either. Well, let's go to a meeting. But then they gleefully go out, or they gleefully go to another meeting. But they say, okay, we can pop game on this like we've been doing all our lives, and they go out. They get gleefully together. That's the danger of newcomers trying to get sober with newcomers. Yes, get sober with newcomers, but get sober with the older people too. Yeah.
Pop gleefully. Preston, how are you liking my letter so far?
Well, yeah, I'm Preston. I'm an alcoholic. I mean, that hits home with me just because, like, that was my experience. So, I mean, I had the same experience, so I understand what it's like. Yeah, I had to do court slips for a while too, and I think I was kind of taught after going back out, like there's like you got to do what you got to do at first, but there's a difference, and Dr. Harry Tebow writes about it, and there's a difference between being compliant, which is what you are when you're on probation with courts. It's like, okay, I'm complying with this, but AA is different. It's like I am completely done, where it's like I'm giving my entire, like I'm done trying it my way. Like AA actually kind of demands that. It's kind of like you're all in or you're not. And I was always halfway in, halfway out. It was like after a year sober, then I'm out or something like that.
That's what I see with people that are compliant. It's like, I'm going to do this 4th step begrudgingly, but I'll tell you something. There's a few things I don't like about you. What? I don't like you. Like the bar scene in Star Wars, where he orders up a drink and the weird guy looks at him and says, what? He says, I don't like you. And then, of course, Obi-Wan comes over and cuts the guy's arm off, but we don't have lightsabers in here and we don't cut people's arms off.
Jeff Alcoholic, if I may, we're alcoholics. We've been popping game one way or another all our lives. So these people come in here, they got the chance to save their lives, but They're just so used to popping game, and they find
Oh my
a couple of cronies that are the same, got the same thing, and they're off and running. They give it up.
That's
Yeah.
that's happened twice in this particular meeting, where a group of people get together, support each other in ill ideas and leave,
Mhm.
and they always invariably end up getting wasted. Now, I heard from one person, family member, the other day where the guy died, and he actually left because he thought he had it handled in AA, and then he was going to whatever they call it, what is it, IOP, you
Mhm.
know, outpatient treatment, therapy, rehab, didn't save him. And then his family members found him dead in his car, just
Mhm.
drank himself to death. And I mean, how many times I've heard that is
Yeah.
a lot. Um, People on probation, I don't know how many of you are on probation in here, but I think what Jeff just said here, it's you're so used to running, the manipulative alcoholic game that you start doing it in here or on yourself. There's just saying if you think you're going to do a dance on this program and skate your
Right.
way through AA, it's going
Right.
to end up doing it on top of
Right.
you.
Right. Another, if I may, alcoholic Jeff, another dodge that I've seen people use is, well, I'm going to AA meetings, but they'll find someone. Let's go to they start going to AOC, which is good in addition to, but never in place of adult children or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But never in place of. But they feel this kinship because they say, we beat it. We beat our real problem is we got to parent our inner child. What nonsense, but they're not facing the fact
Hey,
that the real
I have
problem is
an inner child.
yeah.
That's why we have Cat Friday.
I'm
Uh,
parenting my
uh,
inner child.
uh,
Great if you're
uh,
sober, not great if you're drunk. Yeah, right.
no, but the thing is alcoholism, it's so devious. That's why
Yeah,
we call it cunning, baffling, and
I think
powerful.
it's powerful. Yeah.
We personify alcohol. We we create it as an entity because alcohol, it doesn't think, but to the alcoholic it thinks.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we had one person who was like, I went to treatment, I did IOP, I have a therapist, I have my probation officer, I have to pay my fines, I have my court cases, and then your whole life gets wrapped up in my court case, my therapist, court ordered, my probation officer, my fines, my attorney, my case, my whole thing, and I'm coming to these meetings because I have to. Oh no, I'm not coming because I actually like these meetings. No, I like this. And okay. So you want to do a fourth step? I, I mean, yeah, okay. All right. So then you would do a fifth step. I don't really have too much on a fourth step, tell you the truth. You don't? No. Well, you got arrested, you got thrown in jail, you've got $25,000 in fines. Well, that wasn't my fault. I mean, well, okay, I was drunk, but what? The cops beat me up. That's really that's like, well, what about your amends? Do you want to do some ninth step amends? I don't have anybody to make amends to. Oh, okay. How about your family? They know I'm good with them.
Mhm.
We're good. Well, what about these cops that arrested you that you were fighting with? I'm not gonna make amends to them. I fucking hate cops. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the DA? You think you might have anything? No. Okay. The courts? No. I'm wearing this bracelet for a year. Fuck them. I have to blow in this breathalyzer 3 times a day. You know what? I Why don't you just leave me alone?
Mhm.
Okay. And are you thinking about drinking? No, I'm not thinking about drinking. Does this sound familiar,
Yes. Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah. Yes, it does, sir. Yes, very much so. Yeah. Yeah.
I was never that way. I never got arrested.
Oh, no, right.
I didn't. I was like, I was so glad to be here. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I think what you said there, Preston, I really had it. I mean, I, I did take some pills when I quit drinking, but I got so sick that I was like, just keep me away from this. You want to talk about this, Preston? My last little comment.
Yeah, real quick. I
Not
think,
quick, make it long.
Sure.
okay. Well, I even, alcoholism runs in my family pretty strongly, and I was even talking about that with my dad, just because he'd see me just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, um, and yeah, it's just, it was like, how many times does it take? I've got, not even counting just like the DWIs and all that. It's just, what that does to me personally, from my experience, like my spirit and just my brain, just the constant back and forth. Like I know you talked about, I was really kind of scared that I really was kind of going crazy, like I was going to lose my mind. And for
Mhm.
being a young person, like that's pretty terrifying. I was like it was pretty scary that it was virtually impossible to stop drinking. Even these first 5 months with some other things going on, I've had, you know, I was nowhere that close to yielding, but it is just so powerful. This last time, I was just like, the things that I did and the consequences that I put on my body and my mind. I was like, I'm 30 years old and like, this is absolute hell. So
Mhm.
I was like, okay, so I've been 1 foot in AA and 1 foot out time and time again, not completely sold. I was always like a little hesitant. I wasn't completely in. And now I'm like, okay, I have nothing else left. So like I don't care what else happens. I have nothing else to lose. Like I'm
Mhm.
just stay here for the rest of my life.
When I got sober, um, I, I early on in my life, in my teens, late teens, when I went to my first treatment center, I thought I had a mental health problem because, well, I'm crazy. That's why I'm like this. But actually, what it is when I would drink, drinking and drugs take away the natural inhibitors. So, what keeps us from shooting people or fighting or,
Mhm. Mhm.
saying bad things is our natural inhibitor. When
Yeah.
an alcoholic takes a drink or a drug, those inhibitors go away. That's
Yeah.
why most crimes are connected to either drug or alcohol use. Um, but that wasn't really registering with me. And then even after I got sober, the alcohol and other chemicals condition the mind to misbehave, drunk or sober. And that's why we need this 12-step
Yeah. Yeah.
process and coming to meetings, because we can still rob, cheat, steal, lie, fight with the best of them, whether or not we're using. And then we realize that we can do it without the drink, and then we start doing it. And so we say, well, he's just crazy, or she's,
Mhm.
that's she has a mental health. Well, that's what the
Mhm.
12-step process is
Yeah.
about undoing the insanity that takes us to that behavior, whether or not we're drinking. Because we get sober, then we start doing the 12-step process that undoes all of that and undoes the big screw you. Once I get off probation, I'm hitting the bar. Well, I'm not going to hit the bar, but I'm going to go out and have lunch with friends. Whatever the lies are that we tell ourselves,
With the lies, yeah.
the lies that we tell, and then they kill us. That's why that's why alcoholism is such a deadly illness. And anyways, I just wanted to bring this up because we have a lot of people that come through here on court ordered probation, etc. And it is amazing because they're always like, I want to do this. I'm good to be here. And then once they head toward the end of probation time, it's down the road. They're like an out of control 18-wheeler, but they don't know it. No, yeah, I have no intention of drinking. I've sure had enough of you people. Who else has been on as this probation? Hey, what am I? Where? Let's see. Where are you? Yeah, there you go. I was case Stacy. You read my mind. I was thinking of you. Go ahead.
Oops. Okay, I was gonna say with my experience,
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Stacy, alcoholic. With my experience, the first AA meeting I went to was directly after I got out of jail for DUI. And I didn't know what I was gonna do, but my sister told me, start going to AA, that'll look good for you. So then once I got a lawyer, the lawyer actually told me to go to a program. And she said sometimes AA is frowned upon in court because you're associating with other alcoholics. And I'm like, well, whatever. I went anyway.
I never heard that before. I never heard that. I did hear it about NA, convicted felons associating with one another, but go ahead.
So originally I thought once I got probation, I'm like, well, I'll go to AA and I'll not drink until my probation's over. And then once my probation's over, I'll just drink when I'm on vacation. And then I'm like, wait a second. No, I can't just drink. I can't just drink, period. Like that whole hitting that rock bottom when I went to jail, lost my job, all of that, it took me a minute to register that I just cannot drink. So I get off probation December 5th, and I have no intention of going back out. I have every intention on continuing meetings for the rest of my life because it really does help me. And I know that I can't drink. And
Now,
when I first started
have you
the
been in
process,
and out of AA?
no. So the first time I ever went to AA was after my DUI.
And how long ago was that?
It was in February.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah,
I've been
so that's
sober
gonna be
ever since.
that will be your challenge.
Yep.
Your challenge will be, how do I stay? I mean, you are coming here pretty consistently, so that'll be your
Every day.
challenge, and that'll be your challenge with me and with this meeting. So what we're gonna have to do is figure out now what to do with you in terms of your program, because you've made your way through all 12 steps, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have to figure out some service work and some other a. So what do you do? Let's ask Jeff. So Jeff, what does she do? She's all through all 12 steps, done all the readings. She has 8.5 months, 7.5 months, but December 5th, she's off paper. What do we do to stay in the program and not let our alcoholic mind take over and blow us out?
Well, I would say a couple things. Number one, you get a sponsor in the program. This program is sponsorship too, but get locally, get a sponsor that's working the steps and will keep you working the steps with them, going through them. And don't lose, just that's the main thing. Stay connected to the program and connected to where you're doing you're connected to the steps somehow. That's it. And don't let anybody try and dissuade you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. You want to stay sober, and what the steps are going to keep you sober. Stay with that.
And
Don't
you
listen to anybody.
come here every day, right?
Yeah, come here every day.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, and in a way we sponsor you. So Jeff's saying make some physical connections on the ground in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Have you been to any AA meetings in Indianapolis?
Yeah, I've been to a few around here, but I've heard other people say it, and I kind of thought that it felt kind of cliquey to me.
Okay.
Like, even though it was welcoming, it still felt like I was kind of an outsider. I don't know.
So that's a suggestion from, hey, let's ask Cassie. Cassie, you do both. You come here, plus you have a sponsor and you're connected with people, right?
Yeah. I found my sponsor through another Zoom meeting. I started off on Zoom because I was really scared to go in person.
Yeah.
And that's hold on, let me get out of here.
Okay.
And then I lose my train of thought. Honey, can you watch him, please? So yes, I go in-person meetings now, and I started making coffee. I started sharing some in-person meetings. And through the other, I do love this meeting because it's so different than all the other ones, but through other Zoom meetings is where you might be able to find someone to sponsor you or bring them to this meeting to get sponsored by all of us. Those are just some of my
Someone to talk to,
suggestions.
someone that has more time than you, someone that you can talk to on the ground. Now,
Mhm.
do you think that makes a big difference for you, Cassie, having both coming to this Zoom meeting and in person?
I do like the in-person. I like the fellowship of it, but I find myself sometimes getting a little annoyed with the in-person meeting because it's like, okay, the same
Yep.
people sharing the same stuff.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I like working the steps. That's really where my
Yep.
program is succeeding through, is the steps, not
And
listening
but you've
to.
met people in person here. You met Matt and
Yeah,
you met
Leslie.
what happened to
I don't
Leslie?
know. I'm worried about her.
And was she talking about drinking or what? No, yeah.
No, no.
All right. So hey Matt, you have that chat group between email, text Leslie. Leslie, how are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, Cassie did reach out to her.
Well, do it
herself.
again, Matt.
Yeah.
Like both of you. Leslie, where are you? How are you doing? Haven't seen you at the meeting. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Leslie unfortunately slips pretty often, but she's not on probation,
Yeah.
and she has a job. She's like one of these high functioning alcoholics, and then just falls right off the truck. Alcoholism's so crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. Yeah.
Thank you, Cassie, for sharing that. Well, hey, let's ask Preston. So, Preston, you're fully on in, and then Stacy she's getting off paper December 5th. Do you go to in-person meetings or you just come here? I don't care.
No,
Care.
I have gone. I've gone to all the meetings here.
Okay.
At first, there's, like Cassie was talking about, there's a different factor that, you don't get like physically when you come to Zoom. But for me, it's, I've kind of learned to appreciate like the message from this group more. Cause like, Jeff and Cassie talked about, it's like the nuts of the program. So
Mhm.
like I can go
Yep.
to a ton of physical meetings and it's just like coffee and hanging out.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am the same.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I mean, I have to tell you, I get so much out of this meeting, and
Yep.
it's like it's
Yeah.
just this is a high-powered meeting. It's a meeting that comes straight from the hand of God.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
couldn't resist. Shut up, Jan. All right. Hey, how about Debbie? Are you on paper or what's your story?
Nope, not on paper. I just got fed up with how my life was, and I realized I could not kick it by myself. It was just white knuckle, and I needed help.
And
And
you're here too. So
yeah,
you like coming here, right?
yes,
All
definitely.
right. And I know you text at night. You're hanging in there, so you're doing good. I like you. Just keep coming here. Same thing with you,
Yeah.
Stacy. Keep coming. We're going to give you some work to do. Let's ask Gwen. Gwen, are you on paper? Anything like that?
No, I checked myself into rehab because I knew that I couldn't beat it on my own. And I come here because I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good. Are you in rehab right now?
no, I got out on the 5th or on the 4th. So my first day here was the evening of the 4th. Well,
Where are
not
you
my
now?
first. I'm at home.
Oh, you're at home. You're sitting in a big, comfortable chair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were in rehab. Okay. So how are you liking the meeting? How many times have you been to this one?
Well, probably greater than 5, but some
Okay.
were last month when I was, still trying to wean myself off of alcohol. And then, but this is my 3rd meeting since getting out of rehab.
Oh,
So,
good. I'm glad you're here. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Who's on probation? Let's ask Patricia. Patricia, are you on paper? Did you get a DUI? What's your
Actually,
story?
I was just texting my sober support. Yes, I did in April. And it's been, lots and lots of months, but there's no resolution to it just yet. So I took it upon myself, and I know it's going to sound terrible, but I've had so much more success, and I understand, this isn't my first DUI. When people are telling you you have to do something,
Yeah,
you don't want to do it. So the
that's
minute,
endemic with alcoholics.
yeah, so,
Alcoholism creates that. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So once you flip this switch in your brain that, I just feel like crap every morning when I wake up, and I'm going to have to do this anyway. So that's my motivation. So, I'm not going to lie, it's coming down the road. At some point, I'm going to be on paper. But you know what? I think I'm going to go into either whatever, punishment they throw at me, which I deserve. I'm going to take it with grace. And I know that I'm just in a completely different place. Like, I've learned to let go of the resentment doing this ahead of time before they tell me I have to do it. So I'm just so grateful to you all for helping me get over that chip on my shoulder and the resentment of having to do it. And I know I'm going to have to do it, but now I understand it's not that people are controlling or irrational. It's that I was a drunk and it's time to stop. So that's my story.
So, well, okay, so let's see here. So what happened? You started coming to AA 78 days ago?
No, 78 days ago is August 20th, and that was just a day I picked. So I got my DUI in April. And then I haven't done anything crazy since, but I went through most of the summer, the usual boating and picnics and all that. And, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I got this. I'll just, be a normal drinker. But I'm not, and I noticed that, once you get one or two in me, I want 10.
Well, here's my question. So now you're in the court system, so you have a court date coming up for your DUI?
I have to talk to my lawyer. I was supposed to go November 5th, and then he said, don't show up. And he's been speaking with the DA and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not in a great place, and it's affecting my job, which is not great.
How is it affecting your job?
It's let's just say that I thought I would turn myself into a professional drinker. Instead of drinking at night, I would drink during the day. So I would say stupid stuff in emails and.
Oh, I did that. Oh, I see. You were your drink called the drinking career.
Yeah, I was a pro. I went pro.
Me too. I kept getting fired. They don't
Well, I
like
didn't
that.
get fired, but I'm, when I do go back, I'm gonna be embarrassed as all get out. But you know what? I have the grace to handle it now. I don't have that,
You're not okay. Wait, you're not working now?
long story. I don't want to get into details because I know this gets posted on YouTube and whatnot, but it's gonna be embarrassing, and that's okay. I can handle it with grace and
Okay.
and
Okay. So now you're sort of out of work, but you're gonna go back, maybe,
yes,
and then
yes.
you're gonna have a court case, and you've got the condition. You're set for what this letter says in here about we get to the point, and once I get through all of this and that court stuff, and I've come here and I've got myself, and then you just get to the point where it's right up in your face, and you're like, and you have a huge sigh of relief. You get your court sentencing, whatever it is, it's always the same, probation. They want you to go to IOP or whatever the hell they have, drinking classes, and then you're off paper and you have a look and you go, wow, I don't have to go anywhere anymore. And hasta la vista, baby. And we're gone down and everything's, it shifts. You can see it in people's faces. They'll just shift. They're either like, I'm really happy, I'll be back. I'm coming back. I love these meetings, and they never see them again. Or they have the opposite reaction, which is, good sons of bitches, I'm definitely never coming back to that meeting with you. I thought you liked me. Well, I don't.
Well, like I said, At least for me personally, I can't speak to alcoholics everywhere, but just losing the resentment, that's all I really needed to do. Cause I can look at my life and see how much I've wasted of it. So
Yeah, have
just
you lost
lose
your
the
resentment?
resentment and,
Okay.
life gets a lot easier from there.
All right. Hey, listen, thanks for sharing. I know this is not always easy. And we what Wright added here today. You're gonna let McBride in, or shall I let him in? Oh, I'll let him in. Okay. There he is. Hey, how you doing? So
Keep
who
coming
else?
back.
Who else is on paper? Okay, Jesse, you're on paper. I'm not gonna call on you. Lisa, how about you? Oh, didn't we just write you a letter today or what?
You did, thank you. Yes, I'm on paper, but I was on paper before. And just like what was mentioned by Patricia is that, I've gone through this before. The first time I was on paper, I went through the motions, did everything I was asked to do. Um, but as I mentioned before about this meeting, this time around, my feet are to the fire. I have a different set of people or peers amongst all of you, and I'm doing the steps and doing it a little differently and maybe more correctly for me. And I'm
Yeah.
learning how to, like I said, retrain my brain. So I'm not going to let this happen again. And I'm not going to be on paper again. And I'm learning tools to move forward versus continuing to make the same mistakes.
Have you had your court date?
I've had a couple court dates. They were kind of waiting until I was further in the program and maybe had this letter from you and or from the group and you, and just trying to make sure that I'm more settled in my ways this time around before they brought everything to court saying we think there's a different set of
So
circumstances.
this what is this, like your second DUI?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're going to go to court, and then they're going to put you on probation after you go to court. Let's say they just give you probation, right? Or maybe an ankle bracelet or one of those things you breathe into, right?
Or all the above, depending on the judge.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm prepared to, pay the
Does it
time for the crime kind of thing. So I'm not going to
does it
say anything like that, but I think I just have a better skill set moving forward, which will be helpful.
Here's the problem. Here's the thing that we're talking about. As I wrote in this letter on the right-hand side there, we have the mindset that you have now. And I'm going to go through all of this. And then we go through all of it and the pressure comes off. It's just like, whoosh, and that's when the alcoholic goes back out and drinks. Unless they do what Jeff said. Unless you have a complete program and you actually feel grateful to be here and you're having this complete change in your life. That is, you can have a spiritual experience here. This can be a transformational experience. Completely, it has to. In fact, in AA, everything that we read says that we have to have a complete psychic change in order for us to recover. Jeff?
Yes, Jeff, alcoholic. Yeah, absolutely. The psychic change, the proper alignment of the mind, which we get here. It says right in the book, which I didn't understand at first, but it's not, but that is so, right on, our proper alignment of the mind, alignment with the universe, the spiritual change, and there it is. It's all from the steps. You just keep the steps, keep ourselves in the steps at all times. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard on people. Like we had somebody who was coming here and they were trying and they were trying. They didn't get the proper alignment of the mind. They got just more and more pissed off and more, why do I have to do this? Why do, not so much AA, but why am I, da 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 da. Well, the reason is because you got a couple DUIs. And one of the things that happens to us is we actually do become a danger to society on the road driving. And, as Jim Morrison said in his song, there's a killer on the road. That's us. We don't think that we are, but we are. And then society's going to deal with us. And we don't like that either because we're like, what the heck? Come on, I just drink and I have a job. I have a husband. I have a wife. I have a house. I have a boat and I have a pool. And you're what? No,
Mhm.
you know, that's and then the downside of it is alcoholism just destroys your damn life. Who else here is on David, how about you? Did you get a DUI or anything? Are you on probation?
No, I'm not on probate. I'm just new to this and don't want to show my face. But no,
You don't have to show your face.
I'm a law student actually. I have an arrest though for different drugs, and I am an alcoholic in the sense that when I drink, it is blackout or I don't drink.
Wait a minute. So you got arrested for drugs right now? So you have a pending court case?
No, this was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm here right now because I just have gotten so sick of 12 drinks and not gonna. I mean, my girlfriend basically ex for now, I guess, until I can get better. She had enough. Had enough with this shit, and so I had enough too. I think actually it's like some kind of fucked up blessing, you know.
I know. Sometimes that works. We had a guy come here and his girlfriend basically told him, you go to AA and do something about your drug and drinking problem or I'm leaving. And he did get sober. He just got married, actually. He 3 years in this group. He just got sober. He just got married. So sometimes the girlfriend thing works out.
Yeah,
Other times it doesn't work out. A guy had a new girlfriend that was coming here, and she demanded that he get sober. She was a therapist, so she was all messed up. She was like his project. So he gets sober, and what did she do? She breaks up with him. Your girlfriend doesn't happen to be a therapist, does she?
No. She really like I am so glad that she woke me up and then I've kind of I wouldn't call it a spiritual awakening or anything, but it's just interesting because I was thinking about how when I think about the spiritual heritage of my family, it's fucking AA.
Listen to me. It's not a spiritual awakening. It's called a come to Jesus moment. Okay. Anyways, glad you're here. And you're welcome to come. We're here every single day. Who else? Hey, Sam, are you on probation or anything like that? Or what's your deal? How's it going, Albert? Good to see you.
I am not on probation.
All right.
I mean,
you have a wife that read you the riot act.
Pretty much, yeah. I was gonna say when I was younger, I got.
That's right. We met your wife. She was ready to kill him in here. You're doing great. Really. You're on the 9th step, and I'm really glad you're here. Who else is on paper? Mike, are you a criminal, Mike? I'm joking about this. Look at this. Stacy's laughing. How about you, Mike? Did you get a DUI? Nope. There's that Mike, Mike McBride. He doesn't want to unmute. How about Mike B in New Jersey?
Mike McBride just unmuted.
Okay.
I am not on probation, but I did get a DUI years ago, 2017.
And you're back here now. Okay.
I am back.
Why are you back?
Just because I think I'm just tired of, the cycle. Ran into a lot of problems. Lost friends, ran into problems with my job.
And you don't want to get another DUI, do you?
No.
How much fun were those? Did you keep coming to AA after you got your DUI or no?
No, this was this was 2017. I told my sister a couple weeks ago that it was probably like the worst night of my life. But that still didn't, knock me off the path. But until recently I was just, realized how many friends I've lost, just put myself in horrible positions, not who I want to be. And, the drinking masked that. And I want to dedicate myself to kind of being, true to who I am. And I've, it's actually been 62 days, not 52.
Oh, we'll fix that. Listen, you're welcome to come here. We're here every single day, 7 days a week, same time, and we'll take you through the whole program, all of that. Mike McBride, how you doing, Mike? And how about you? DUIs, court, paper, any of that?
No, I don't have a DUI. I just want to be sober.
Okay.
I
How
want
long
to
how long
not
are you sober?
crave alcohol.
Yeah.
I want support
Okay.
because my local AA group I go to, I don't feel wanted. And it makes me feel really bad. And my wife understands that.
Yeah.
I have a sponsor.
Okay.
I like the Zoom meetings. I ask questions. When I asked the whole group of people on Monday, which was 2-3 weeks ago,
yeah,
I was looking for a sponsor, either a man or a woman. The whole room laughed at me, which I thought was that's not AA.
Well, we don't do that here. We will not laugh at you for any reason at all. We frown on people laughing at people. Although there are some people in here that laugh at me, and I get back at them later. But hey, listen, come here for 5 days in a row, see how you like it, 1 through 5, and we will sponsor you, give you take you through all 12 steps. We'll hand deliver an AA program to you. Where are you calling from today, and how long have you been sober?
Salinas, California, which is Monterey County.
And when's the last time you had a drink?
2 days.
2 days. Okay, perfect. Today or 2 days ago?
2 days.
2 days. Okay,
Wonderful.
good. You are in the right place for this. Let's go to Angel. DUI?
No, sir.
Probation?
No DUI,
Criminal?
not on paper,
Yeah.
no legal troubles. Just trying to I've done well staying away from alcohol. I struggle with marijuana.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't smoked in 6 weeks, and Sunday I had a relapse. So
Well, this is the right meeting for you. Come every day for 5 days, see how you like it. And hey, Rebecca, did you end up with DUI?